Y'all know who I am. Y'all know what I do. Everybody want to know my story. Who's the guy behind more than sickle cell? We know his name is Terrence. We know he built awareness. We know he got sickle cell, but nobody knows his story. I've been thinking, it's time to tell my story. I'm 35 years old. I've had sickle cell all my life. Sickle cell SS, which is the worst type of sickle cell. I'm a warrior. I'm a survivor. I'm a motivator. I'm a leader. I'm a boss. I'm a man of God. Growing up with sickle cell was not easy. I had to overcome a lot of stereotypes, it's like a disability. Growing up with sickle cell, I went through a lot of pain that I didn't understand. I would call it pain for no reason, but now I've discovered the reason why I've suffered, the reason why I've went through all of this was to get to this point now, to share my story. So my story will be able to help the next person get to theirs, and the next person, and so forth, so forth. I believe that's my purpose in life. That's the reason why God put me through all of this, just to tell my story. So here it is. I was born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio, with sickle cell, of course. And as a child, I was always the smallest one out the group. Always the smallest, but always the oldest. I was like the oldest out of every kid in my neighborhood, but I was the smallest. So that came with a lot of disadvantages. I would be bullied, picked on, just because of my size. So I had to fight and prove myself for every little thing, prove myself to everybody. And then when people found out that I had sickle cell, they looked at it as a form of weakness. So I was basically fighting and proving myself that I was normal, that I could do anything that they could do. I could do anything you can do. Playing sports, I had to prove that I could play football just like the other people. I could run as fast as the other people. I could tackle just like the other people. But I wasn't like everybody else. I wasn't like the other people. And that was hard for me coming to grips that I was different. I remember having arguments with my mom. She's always telling me, you can't do that. You can't do what other kids do. You gonna get sick. You can't go outside without a hat. You gotta put your jacket on. When you playing basketball, you can't take your shirt off. You will catch a cold. And I didn't understand that. I'm like, why? Everybody else doing it. I don't want to, people to look at me different. So that's when sickle cell became a handicap. Then on the other hand, I would get sick just off the littlest thing. Like I could catch a cold. Just a simple runny nose, coughing cold. And that would cause a sickle cell crisis. And then I would be in the hospital. So I had to take extra care of myself. It was a lot for a child. At one point in time, I thought that I was the only person my age with sickle cell. because nobody knew what it was. Everybody would ask me, "What's wrong with your eyes? Why your eyes yellow?" They didn't know that it was jaundice, so I would try to explain to them it's sickle cell, and they didn't know. They would look, "Oh, he got hepatitis, he got this, he got that." Just ignorance from not knowing. That's one of the main reasons why I want to spread awareness today, to eliminate the ignorance. So it's a lot for a kid to handle growing up by itself with an invisible, incurable disease that no one knows about. You're the only one that know about it. Your family's the only one that know about it. My aunt was the only person that I knew with sickle cell. So she helped me and talked to me and explained things to me that no one else could explain. Helped me overcome things and taught me how to use my weaknesses and turn them into my strengths, because she went through everything that I was experiencing. So that was good that I had her there, but she went through a lot of her own pain, like a lot of her own situations. She had sickle cell, amongst other things. So I look at, people would look at me and say that I'm blessed because I only have sickle cell. And I'm like, wow, really? That's a blessing, huh? But I see what they were saying, because my aunt had sickle cell along with kidney failure, along with diabetes, like the list goes on. It was a long list of illnesses that she had to endure. But the hardest part of sickle cell was dealing with the public, dealing with sickle cell along with day-to-day life, dealing with sickle cell along with poverty, dealing with sickle cell along with stress, along with emotions, along with not understanding life and why I was going through this. As I got older, I developed like a complex where I bottled everything up. I bottled my anger up. All of the pain that I went through with sickle cell, I didn't know how to express it, so I held it in. And when I got into like a confrontation or an argument, a fight, that's when I would let all the anger and the pain out. So it could be like one little thing, like we arguing over a sandwich or a candy bar, and I would just go 0 to 100 and explode on the person because I didn't know how to channel my anger. That anger turned into a temper. And I was like a ticking time bomb, waiting to explode on any and everybody who pushed my buttons. But on the outside, I didn't look like that. On the outside, I was always smiling, playing, laughing. Never complained about sickle cell. You would never know I had sickle cell unless you seen the color of my eyes. But other than that, I kept it a secret because I didn't want people judging me, telling me what I can't do. I didn't want the sympathy. I didn't want the, oh, it's going to be okay. Oh, he got sickle cell. Oh, we got to watch him. He can't do that. He got sickle cell. He can't run fast. He got sickle cell. He can't lift that. Go help him. He has sickle cell. And that complex of people telling me what I can't do made me prove to everyone that I can do anything I put my mind to. Can't is not in my vocabulary. I eliminated it at a young age. So I start listening to music. I start looking to people that I could relate to, which there wasn't a lot. I was always like rooting for the underdog, rooting for the small person, you know, like I looked up to certain rappers. Rapper named Prodigy from Mobb Deep. He became one of my favorite rappers because he also suffered from sickle cell. And he made songs telling his story. He made a song called You Can Never Feel My Pain, which actually embodied the whole exact story of what I went through in my life in his rhymes. Each and every word, I can relate to it. And I began to live by that phrase, you can never feel my pain. You don't know what I've been through. And I became insensitive to other people's pain. Because I would see somebody complaining about something like, oh, I have a headache, oh, I have this. I'm like, a headache? If you only knew what I go through each and every day. Nights full of pain, days of the same. No one there for me to complain to. Me not even wanting to complain.